Hi, this is Sandy, and I've decided to make a Western journal. And so I went on to Amazon and picked up these two books to use in my Western journal. And this one has scenes, 8 by 8 scenes that can be used in a, well, however you want to, really. But my journals are usually about 6 by 9 or 6 by 8. Not that they have to be that size, that just tends to be the size I end up doing, I guess, because an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper will fit into it really easy, so it ends up being then 8 by 5.5. Anyway, these pages would work perfectly in an album that size in a journal, so I saw this and just really liked it. So I thought I'd do a quick flip through so you could see some of the pages. I will later be filming as I make the Western journal, but I just wanted to kind of do a flip through and show you what I got. The scenes on the each page, it's the same on the front and the back, so I'm going to flip through pretty quickly. But it's not that I don't want you to see the back, it's just you've already seen it, because what's on the front is the same on the back. I really love these Western towns. Some of these were, the colors are not necessarily realistic, but it's very, very pretty. But I really love these ones that are a little more realistic. This was another scene in a town. I love mountains, so great to have the mountains in the background. Nice barn, a lot of cactus. This was another shot of a barn with the watercolor. Well, these are all watercolor, but some of them are more realistic than others. But these are very pretty. And another page. I thought this was a really pretty picture with the path going up to the barn and the other buildings. This book has a real southwestern flair as well, with the cactus and some of the rock formations. I thought this was a pretty page with the cowboy hat and the cactus, and then the blue sky with the clouds and everything. And then this has the boots in it. Different view of a hat and a cactus and some rock formations. They're all a similar theme. They're just a very different. They're each different pictures. Here was another one of a town, different colors in the picture. Another town. Anyway, I just thought these would make some pretty pages, as well as some pretty ephemera to put in my Western album. And then I felt like I needed some ephemera pieces, and so I got this cut and collage book. And it has some large scenes on the one side, and then on the other side are ephemera pieces that you can cut out. And so that's the way it is throughout the book. On one side will be these that you can cut and collage, and then there's a large picture that you could use just it if you want to. I bought it primarily for the cut and collage pieces, but I'm not going to take a lot of time on each page. There were some of these large pictures, though, that I thought were really pretty. But I thought between the two books, it gives me a lot to work on in my Western album. And then I'm also going to be tying this to the collab Texas Two-Step Tuesday And I'll show you that page when I get done flipping through this book, because that's what sparked the idea of the Western album to begin with. Susan at I Totally Love It has a collab that's bi-monthly, and it was based on a Western theme, but you didn't have to use a Western theme. It was just based on making things for any junk journal, so you could make it based on any theme that you wanted to. And so I had been doing that, but I just thought, oh, it'd be so fun to use it in the Western theme, but the journals, like my Easter album, my Easter junk journal, it was not in a Western theme, so it was harder to, I didn't feel like I could put it as a Western theme, so I used the theme of the journal. So that's what sparked the idea for me to do a Western journal. I decided, you know, I would love to take those prompts that she's given and put it in a real Western journal. So that's what I'm going to do. They have some real whimsical images in here as well. Some of them are very realistic, but then there's some whimsical ones every once in a while that make me smile. And that is the book. They highlight other cut and collage books that they have. Anyway, so this was the page that prompted my deciding to do a Western journal. It started in January, and each month you have 2 prompts, and then they have a theme and it tells you what to use. So like Boots and Barbed Wire, it was to use 2 metallic or rusty elements, and then in parentheses she put paper clips, brads, or wire images. And then like Cactus Bloom, 2 pops of color on a mostly neutral background. I'm not going to read through all of them, but I've been working through them, and I thought it would just be so much fun to actually do them based on the Western theme. For instance, this one was to include 2 images or figures, and it says that capture classic Western charm or your choice of theme. So I used 2 bunnies in my Easter journal, but I thought, wouldn't it be fun to actually have Western images? And here was a ranch fence. 2 lines or borders on your page. Think fences, stitching, or drawn frames. So I did that as well in my Easter journal, but I thought, wouldn't it be fun to actually do it using it as the ranch fence? Or 10 Star Treasure, Dusty Road Diary, Western Union, Prairie Dust, Trail Mix, Longhorn Legacy. So I thought all these would be fun to do in a Western journal. So I couldn't get away from the idea and finally decided I just need to make a Western journal. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll bring you along as I create it. And thank you for watching this video. And check out the hashtag Texas Two-Step Tuesday. This is how it's spelled out. Hashtag TX2Step2s is the hashtag. And so check it out. Check out Susan's channel at I Totally Love It, because she's the one who inspired me for this Western journal I'm going to begin. So thank you for watching.